Now, AmaZulu King MisuZulu KaZwelithini is expected to visit the family of late Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi. The Zulu monarch doesn't attend funerals and can only pay tribute after the burial. Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi was buried at a special official funeral held on Saturday, and our eNCA senior reporter Siphamandla Goge has been giving us details about what's expected from King MisuZulu KaZwelithini. And of course, early on we heard that the king will be making his way of course, into the home of Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi. And you can see some family members have gathered all in anticipation, of course, of expecting and receiving the king. As he arrives, some meeting or at least engagements are expected to take place upon the arrival of King MisuZulu KaZwelithini. Now, this is important because according to Zulu traditional customs, a king doesn't attend any funeral. This is not isolated just to King MisuZulu, but even with the kings before him, as well as his father, Zwelithini Zulu, he did not attend any funerals, and of course would only attend to a meeting to send condolences after the burial had therefore taken place. So you can see those visuals out in Ulundi in KwaZulu-Natal, where King MisuZulu, of course, is also expected to arrive any moment now. My colleague also telling me a bit earlier on, Siphamandla Goge, that when it comes to Prince Mangosuthu, he as well had made mention that he will be coming, but the family, of course, saying they will only recognize him as a prince because the king, according to Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi, is King MisuZulu. Let me bring him perhaps for a conversation at this point. And Siphamandla, we can definitely see there's some family members just having a small caucus in anticipation of King MisuZulu making his way in.
Indeed, the members of the Buthelezi family and the Buthelezi clan are led by Prince Zuzifa Buthelezi, Prince Mangosuthu's son. He's the one who's going to welcome and receive the king, as he is the head of the family now. He is tipped to take over from his father as Inkosi Yesizwe Saka Buthelezi. Next to him are other family members, including Dr. Buthelezi behind, as well as acting Inkosi of Buthelezi, Ibamba Bukhosi Umbigayise, as we see other Amakosi from other Buthelezi clans, as well as other clans just around here in Ulundi and Mahlabathini, as Amakosi, Izinduna, and other members of the royal family are also here. Let me show you, together with my colleague Bonga Mkize, other members of the family here include Prince Tulani, as I'm told that the king is fast approaching and the king's motorcade is set to arrive any minute from now. So this is significant if you take into account that in terms of tradition, protocol and culture in KwaZulu, the king does not attend funerals, but he will go to the bereaved family after the burial to pay his respects. It is widely believed, those who believe say, it's got to do with the element of spirituality to keep the king pure, because according to the tradition that they are using, they say if the king attends any death, therefore he will be overshadowed by the dark cloud, because death is associated with the dark cloud. So it will be a mission impossible to keep on cleansing the king every time he attends a death or a funeral. So therefore the king will need to be kept pure and not attend any funeral, so that to protect him and also to protect the throne and the nation. That is the explanation that is always given. But I will be seeking more clarity from other people as well to find out why is this the case. It's been happening for many years, whereby AmaZulu King does not attend any funeral. King Zwelithini will go to those who would have lost their loved ones after they've buried them, because it's believed that after there would have been some cleansing taking place and the burial would have taken place, as we see in Yosibuze Cheni Mdleche, the king's praise singer here. If you see this gentleman, you must know that the king is approaching, because he's the one who will be doing what is called Bonga, as in Yosiyesilo, who will be welcoming the king using praise singing. He was there, by the way, when the late Queen Regent Mantombi, when her ilobola was paid by King Zwelithini, he was part of the delegation that attended that. And so these are members of the royal family and the members of Buthelezi clan. They are all taking their positions to welcome the king, saying the king is fast approaching. We will also just take you inside so that we show you what is happening in terms of the preparations and the logistics. We will come back to be on standby for the arrival of the king. But you know, these are some of the members, including Amakosi, Izinduna, and members of the royal family. As you see, the kings sit there already taking place, taking position, waiting for the arrival of Indlulamiti, and he will be coming here to pay his respects following the passing of Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi. So this is what is currently happening. I think there will be some movement outside as I see members of the protection making their way. We will go back outside so that we are just on standby for that arrival of the motorcade of the king. But we are told that he is not far away from Kwapindangene. He will be arriving any moment now.
Siphamandla, if I may just ask, with regards to, the role that Prince Mangosuthu played, obviously, in King MisuZulu's life, not just in King MisuZulu, but also the previous kings that came before him. He's been the traditional prime minister serving under 3 kings. And I just wonder, because we understand that only the king can appoint a new prime minister, and these, this role is one of a prime minister who functions as the Zulus, the Zulu community's second in command. Do we expect that such, discussions will take place today, or if the king at all will be making that announcement? Is that of urgency to the king to perhaps appoint a new traditional prime minister?
I would say it's urgent, but you see, the tricky part about the Zulu culture, tradition and protocol is that with death, it will be considered insensitive to talk about that issue. But the reality of the situation is that it has to happen because, they will have to mourn. There has to be a cleansing ceremony. A number of traditional aspects are still outstanding. Do you appoint a new traditional prime minister when your recently departed has just been laid to rest? Are you in a hurry in such a way that you cannot wait any longer? But the reality of the situation, as we see the motorcade arriving, I think the king is making his way, but there is another motorcade that is behind what Bonga is showing you. But yes, it's a matter of agency. At some point, the king will have to appoint a new traditional prime minister. But what is making it easier for him is the fact that Prince Mangosuthu, when he was still alive, he made it clear to him to say, listen, I'm old, I'm frail, at some point I will depart. Appoint a new traditional prime minister, let me assist you with the issue of succession. So Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi did talk about that. In fact, not only to King MisuZulu, even with King Zwelithini. I remember because I was there at some point when he told King Zwelithini to say, Bayete, please consider appointing a new traditional prime minister. I've served your father, I've served you. What more do you want? I'm old, I'm getting old. At some point, ngizocimeza, meaning I will pass away. So if this new king wouldn't have thought about that, I think it would be an error of judgment on his part, because he was advised by Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi to say, age is not on my side, I've got ill health. I think it's former President... Okay, let me check properly who is there. I can't see properly, but yeah, those are members of the Zulu royal family, and the Presidential Protection Unit, members of the SAPS, which are looking after the king. If you are mistaken, you will think that a former head of state is here, but the security detail that you see here, they are members of VIP protection, members of the Presidential Protection. AmaZulu King is being guided by that highly trained team of SAPS members. As you see, the car that is coming there flanked by a security detail, His Majesty, that's the number plate, HM2, His Majesty. Those are the initials on the vehicle that is making its way here. So yes, the king not only appointing the traditional prime minister, remember that King Zwelithini passed away, Queen Regent passed away, but also there is another vacancy that is not filled as we speak, and that is of the leader of the regiments, Induna Yamabuto, following the passing of Umgiliji Kantleko. So that's basically, those are some of the positions, 2 key positions that the king would need to think about it: traditional prime minister as well as Umdidielu Wamabuto, the leader of the regents. This is a motorcade of the king king, that is flanked by Amakosi Izinduna and Amabuto, members of the royal family led by Prince Vanana of Kwaminyamanzi. I also see Prince Simpiwe here, and I see Prince Wenzawenkosi, who's King Zwelithini's son, on the other side. There are other members of the royal family from a number of houses, royal houses, and all of them are here to ensure that they welcome AmaZulu King. We'll try and make our way here so that we get just a proper visual of this arrival of the king. So these are members of the royal family. There will be some sort of disorganization. Please bear with us. There are too many people here, as they will be trying to take their positions and ensure that they open up for they are opening up for the king to make his way. We'll just try and see if we can just get, I think we are perfectly positioned here. I've been advised by Bonga Mkhize that we will be able to get that arrival of the king as he's about to disembark. He will be welcomed by Prince Zuzifa Buthelezi, the son of Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi. Knowing protocol, there will be salutation by Edewena Wendlovu. Let me give you that. AmaZulu King MisuZulu KaZwelithini comforting the son of Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi, that's Prince Zuzifa Buthelezi. Both of them know each other very well, because besides the fact that they are family, that they are related, but every time Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi was dealing with matters of succession during the transition period, Prince Zuzifa was always there with his father. And I've spotted another gentleman here on my right, that is Mtogozi Mahlobo. Prince Mtogozi Mahlobo is the king's cousin. As we make our way inside, please bear with us. There will be some shaky visuals here, but we are trying to take our positions, because the king will come in and then he will be briefed by members of the Buthelezi family and clan, and once he's been briefed, they will then give the king an opportunity to pay his respects. But that's what will be happening here. As he has entered, he will take his seat. After that, there will be a salutation, and everyone who's inside this marquee will have to sit down. And once everybody has taken their seats, then the official program will start. The Buthelezi family will lead, and the king will later on, because he has to be the last one to speak. After him, no one will speak. So that's what will be happening here. Bye. That's what will be happening here, as he is the one who is going to be the last speaker. After him, it will be the end of the program. Why is this significant? Culturally, he can only come after the burial. He does not come before that. He has to come and pay his respects. Inyosibuzecheni Mdleche is briefing the king that they are here to welcome him because of the family relations, but this is his departed traditional prime minister, so therefore he has to come and pay his last respects. Let me just listen to praise singer Buzecheni Mdleche. Ngabalapha ekhaya bangabuyiswa kanjani kuze baqhubekele umsebenzi wabo. Yakwenzela lokho silesikhulu kwenziwa ngumqolajuba umalume womfana okwaphinda ngene. Namhla ke silesikhulu uBushokkhali umnawweni silesikhulu uyena owathi umfana uyakuba isandla sakhe emhlabeni wonke jikelele owenza lo msebenzi amandla. Kanjalo nesilesizala ingonyama senzo okufanayo. Ngakho silesikhulu thandazela ukuthi namhla umoya womntwana ophinda ngene, umoya wamakhosi uhlangane kuze babheke silesikhulu. Kekho omunye oyokukhola ngonyama ngaphandle kokholwa umntwana ophinda ngene, ngoba ehole umkhulu wasisilo wazahola isilo esimzalayo esikuzalayo hlanga lamakhosi kuze kube namuhla. Sithi ke ngonyama qina kanjalo nabantwana The praise singer there, Buthelezi, highlighting that the departed traditional prime minister to the Zulu nation served 3 AmaZulu kings, starting with the current king who's sitting just over there, starting with his grandfather to his father and to him as he's the new king on the throne. He is asking for peace, stability and for wisdom and wise counsel for the new king, because he has been the pillar of strength, that is Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi, saying it's only his physical disappearance. Spiritually, Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi will continue to serve the king. Those are the words of praise singer there, that is Buthelezi, who has been with King KaZwelithini and a member, basically extended member of the royal family. If you After that salutation, then the program will get underway as we see Prince Simpiwe of Waminyamanzi handing over the microphone to Thulasizwe Buthelezi, who is a member of the Buthelezi family and a member of the Buthelezi clan, but also the mayor of Zululand District Municipality, who worked very well with Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi. From here, allow me to plug in our microphone so that we will hear what is being said here.
Singakaqhubeki silesikhulu siyocela ukuthi sivule umkhuleko ngokuthi sicele umfundisi uAfrikanda ukuba asivulele ngomkhuleko uqala uhlelo lwethu. Siyakudumisa, we glorify your name. 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 Mfundisi.
Sovalisa Mphatoshe isilo samabandla bayede shamamhlabathi bayede kube abantwana engabingelelayo indlunkulu ekhona nawo zonke iphathimandla noma abahlonishwa abakhona, sihlanganisa nalaba abathwebulayo. Ngiyafisa ukuthi sesiqala lo mkhuleko ngethwe hlangalo umhlabathi phephisa okwephuka noma ukulahleka kwenduku ophosa ngayo nokuyisandla sakho futhi sibuhlungu sonke sikuhlanganisa nesizwe sakho ubuhlungu, kodwa sithi uNkulunkulu khona uyazi muzi wasobalisa, uyazi nesizwe sonke. Angifisa ukuchitha isikhathi, sizakuba lapha ihubo kafishane, ihubo 93 uverse 1 no 2. Wasimangade uyinkosi wembethe ubukhosi. Wasimangade wembethe ubhinqe amandla nezilimi liqinile lingezanyazanyiswa. Isihlalo sakhe sobukhosi simisiqinile wasendulo wena ukhona waphakade. Amen. uNkulunkulu ukhona ongumvelinqangi wembethe ubukhosi. Uma embethe ubukhosi ekhona uhlale khona nababuhlungu bedabukile futhi uhlale lobukhosi bakhe uyakwazi nangamandla akhe ukwazi ukubembathisa nalabo abayibona befisa ukwembathiswe abaphamandla basekele. Uyakwazi futhi kuyababhinqisa laba amandla njengoba nomhlaba wonke nezwe liqinile uyakwazi baqinisa futhi abembathisa. Futhi noma bese simeni sangathi bayazanyazanyiswa kodwa bangezanyazanyiswa ngoba nasayena akazamaziseki futhi nabakhe bangezanyaziswe. Kanjalo nesihlalo sakhe sobukhosi simesiqinile ukhona waphakade sengathi uhlaka lomhlabathi uNkulunkulu akalembathisa. Sengathi isizwe sonke sinembathiso. Sengathi nawo bonke abakhona la bangembathiswa bawezwa amandla kaNkulunkulu ikakhulu umndeni kababa okwaphinda ngene. uNkulunkulu awusingathi kulobu buhlungu ukwazi ukuthi uNkulunkulu khona. Akusho ukuthi bahambe umntwana uhambe bonke abantu uhambe nomndeni wakhe kodwa ukhona nesesikhona. Sengathi uNkulunkulu abanana lesikhuleke. Egameni likaNkulunkulu uyise likaNdodana nelikaMoya Ingcwele. Amen. Bembathisa uNkulunkulu ikakhulu nasi isilo samabandla. Nasi nesizwe omphathise sona ongowakho umntwana wakho. Mlekelele uzulele na zonke iziphathimandla ezikhona la. Ikakhulu baba ongcwele lendlu yalapha kwaButhelezi. Siyanikela baba ongcwele ubasekele ubembathise ubaqinise. Bangeze bazanyazaniswa nangokuhamba kababa wekhaya nobaba wabo. Nanokuhamba kwalenduku ebephoswa ngayo kulesi sizwe samaZulu. Nesandla ebesiqinisele sisekelile. Sengathi inkosi yami ngaba uwe omile kuzobe phakade. Siyakhulekela ke inkosi yami sinikele umhlangano ohlangene la. Sengathi uNkulunkulu konke okuzobe kushiwo nabo konke uNkulunkulu olungileyo kube ingubo yokwembathisa. Kube uselekeleka noqina nalamandla amele kuzobe phakade bangabakho abantu bakho bakuhlakanipha ukuze nalomndeni walapha kwaButhelezi ufudumale sizwe sonke sifudumale ngoJesu Kristu inkosi yethu. Amen. Uthi nesibusiso kaNkulunkulu somandla uyise nendodana noMoya Ingcwele sibe phakathi kwenu nesizwe sonke namakhaya enu hlale kini njalo. Amen. Masiqale ngokuthula
ngegama lenkosi. Sithokoza kakhulu umfundisi uAfrikanda. Silesikhulu sifisa ukwamukela indlovukazi uNkulunkulu kwabeni phakathi kwethu. Umntwana wabafihlimindi nabantwana bonke benkosi. Sihlangene silo okokuqala engekho umntwana lapha ekhaya phakathi kwethu. Sephucwe ingubo sonke ebesikhosele ngaphansi kwayo. Kepha uma ongangezwe esenyathela lapha emzini wakhe sizizwa silesikhulu sinakekelwe. Sizizwa sembethe uba omdala esekhona phakathi kwethu. Ngakho ke ngiyocela ukuthi muzwa wethu sithathele lethuba sedlulisele kusihlalo womkhandlu wasosuthu ukuthi kube yibo abaqhubeka nohlelo. Kuyothemba usihlalo wasosuthu siphinde siqhubeke nohlelo siphambili. Bayethe. wena wendlu wena wendlu bayede
baye zamakhosi abantwana basendlunkulu umndeni wakwaButhelezi boshene bosokwalisa lapha ngokukhulu ukudabuka nobuhlungu obuvelele umndeni wakwaButhelezi boshene.
All right, what you see there are the visuals of King MisuZulu KaZwelithini as well as his royal entourage. They are within the home of Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi to convey their condolences because a sitting king does not attend funerals. This is the first time that King MisuZulu KaZwelithini would have seen the family and also met with them just post the burial this past Saturday. We'll take you back live again to Ulundi as soon as the king, of course, starts speaking. But, of course, my colleague eNCA reporter, senior reporter Siphamandla Goge, there for us to give us the very latest.